We are closing this billion-dollar deal today. Ta'khir is not an option. Took you long enough, Malik. Drive.
Samantha Reeves had survived boardrooms filled with sharks, investors who wanted her company for scraps, and reporters who dissected her every move, yet nothing unnerved her more than running late. And today, she was very, very late. Her driver, Malik, waited beside the sleek black SUV, calm and unbothered, as she hurried down the marble steps of her Chicago headquarters. "Morning, Ms. Reeves," he greeted with a warm smile. She barely looked up from her phone. "We need to move. Like yesterday." Malik opened her door, but Samantha hesitated, eyeing him with a smirk. "I hope you know the fastest way to O'Hare. No pressure, but it's a billion-dollar deal." "Don't worry," he said lightly. "I've got you." She slid into the back seat, half laughing. "Right. My entire company depends on my driver." What she didn't see was the small tightening in Malik's jaw, or the way he exhaled quietly before pulling into traffic. The pitch meeting was being held in Geneva. The investors, 4 powerful CEOs from different countries, rarely agreed on anything, especially not about backing an American tech company run by a woman they considered too aggressive. This deal was Samantha's shot at global expansion. Without it, her company would flatline. Malik navigated through heavy traffic with practiced ease. Samantha noticed he didn't react when other drivers cut them off. In fact, he seemed completely at peace, humming softly to himself. "You're unusually calm for someone driving a ticking time bomb," she muttered. He chuckled. "Life's easier when you don't take every moment as a personal attack." She rolled her eyes. "I don't have that luxury." But she did notice something different that morning. Every time her anxiety spiked, Malik's calm made her breathe a little deeper. She hated that it helped. They reached the airport just as her flight was boarding. Before she rushed out, Malik handed her a small envelope. "What's this?" she asked. "You dropped it in the back seat yesterday," he said. Looked important. Inside was her personal notebook, the one with her entire strategy outlined. She'd been searching for it for hours. She froze. You could have read this." "I didn't," he replied simply. "It wasn't mine." The sincerity startled her. She nodded awkwardly. "Thanks, Malik. Good luck, Ms. Reeves." The following morning in Geneva, Samantha found herself in a vast glass conference room, facing the 4 investors who spoke 3 different languages among them. 2 didn't speak English well at all. Her translator had been delayed by weather. The meeting was starting anyway. Her stomach plummeted. The oldest investor spoke in rapid Mandarin. Samantha tried to read his expression, but it was impossible. Another CEO responded in French, and a third muttered something in Arabic. They weren't just discussing her, she realized with horror, they were debating whether to cancel the deal entirely. And she was helpless. Suddenly, the door opened. "Apologies for the interruption," the coordinator said. "Your driver is here." Samantha turned, confused. Malik stepped into the room. She nearly choked. "What are you doing here?" "How? I took the next flight out," he said gently. "You looked like you'd need backup." Before she could react, one of the investors snapped in Mandarin, gesturing impatiently. To her shock, Malik responded, fluently. The entire room froze. Then another investor spoke in French. Malik replied just as smoothly. The third investor switched to Arabic. Malik answered without hesitation. 9 languages. 9. Samantha didn't breathe for at least 10 seconds. Malik stepped forward calmly. "If you don't mind, Ms. Reeves, I can interpret. I've worked across a few continents." He didn't mention that he'd been a linguistic consultant for international peace organizations. He didn't have to. With Malik translating, the meeting transformed. The investors stopped talking around her and started talking to her. They asked real questions. They listened. And for the first time, they understood her vision exactly as she meant it. 3 hours later, the lead investor extended his hand. "We're in," he said. Samantha almost sagged with relief. When she turned to thank Malik, her throat tightened. She had laughed at him, underestimated him, reduced him to a steering wheel and a uniform. And yet here he was, saving the deal that would keep her company alive. On the ride back to the airport, Samantha sat in the front for the first time. "You know," she began softly, "you're full of surprises." Malik smiled. "Most people are, if you give them room." She studied him, really studied him, and for the first time, she saw not a driver, but a man with an entire world inside him. "Thank you," she said, voice thick. "You didn't just save the deal. You saved everything." Malik shrugged, eyes warm. Sometimes the right place, right time shows up disguised as just another morning. The car hummed down the quiet Swiss road as the sun dipped into the horizon, and Samantha felt something she hadn't felt in years. Human again. And profoundly grateful.